Hey guys, it's Maddie, and today I'm going to be talking about how I started my own clothing business at 16. So last year in January, I bought a bunch of things, like $400 worth of clothes, and I'm just going to get into that and tell you how I started. I've been wanting to start my own company and become an entrepreneur since I was little, and I would always create my own little shops and like sell things to my family members that no one actually wanted, but I still had the entrepreneur mindset. It has always interested me. And another thing that I've been interested in is fashion and fashion design. I've always loved unconventional fashion and like unique pieces and like putting things together that you wouldn't normally think of doing. And my entire family is pretty fashion savvy, and I like to think I am also. And I've always either been dressed in super cute outfits or picked them out myself. So when I was little, my mom used to put me in really cute outfits, and now I try to wear cute outfits myself. I like to wear outfits that are kind of risk-taking, even if it results in some stares, because I really don't care what people think of my clothes. If I like them, then who cares? So I decided I want to start my own business called Monarch, which I am wearing this shirt right now, and it is a clothing company. Once it's up and running, I want to begin designing my own items and have them manufactured or sew them myself, which would be very time-consuming, but that's something I want to do. But that's very expensive. Manufacturing one style of an item can cost over $10,000, so I'm starting small. At the moment, I have these shirts. I have black, white, and a hoodie, a white hoodie that has Monarch on it. I have some of those left. I've actually sold quite a few of them, which I'm excited about, which means people are supporting my brand. And I've done pop-up shops. Well, I did one. I have an online website, and yeah, I just advertise it to my friends and family. So I wanted to reduce the use of fast fashion and non-sustainable fashion, and I actually did a speech about this in my English class. Fast fashion is basically producing as many items in as little time as possible, and it's very popular in overseas countries, especially Asian countries, and it's to keep up with the trends, which is understandable because you're obviously going to be more profitable if you try to target your clothing items towards the emerging trends. But I think there's a better way of doing that, which would be sustainable fashion, and that is producing and sourcing from the US, sewing your own items, thrift flipping, all those types of things, like just being mindful of where your items come from. As for the name of the brand Monarch, I got it when I was sitting during one of my Regents exams. Actually, it was a midterm exam, and I think it was January, and I was like, Monarch, that's cool, because I had been thinking about starting my own business for a long time. Like, clothing business is so interesting to me, and then the name came to me and I was like, I love it. Basically, the meaning behind Monarch is like being yourself and being your own like strong figure, whether it's like a king, queen, you know, like a monarch, like a ruler. So yeah, it's about like self-empowerment and standing up for what you believe in, all that kind of good stuff. In January of 2019, I bought my domain name and I purchased 39 items as my starting inventory, and those 39 items were the t-shirts, sweatshirts. I honestly didn't do anything with those items for 6 months. When they arrived, I was really excited and I opened them up right away and stuff, but I didn't really do anything with them, like started selling them. I got like on a whim this year. It was a few months ago where I just like made a bunch of tags and added some details to them. So that was when I started to make like tags and labels and started to get it up and running. And I began doing thrift flips and selling them, as well as making my own items from scratch. So I know a lot of you are like, oh, anyone can go to the thrift store and like cut a shirt. But that's not all I do. I also add like buttons and other like details like drawings and stuff. So it's a little different, and also I use like the fabric from the thrift store sometimes to make my own item from scratch, if that makes sense. So I'm just focusing on sustainable fashion, and that's one of the best ways for me as a small business owner to go about it. And then I created my website, and like I said, in January of 2019, I bought a domain name, which is basically like monarchclothingcompany.com. So I had the rights to the domain, but I hadn't created a website yet. So I created a website, and you can check it out. I'll link it down below. It's monarchclothingcompany.com, but it's not finished by any means, and it's still a little rough around the edges, but I'm happy to finally have it up, and you guys can actually shop on the website if you'd like. I'm selling this, a lot of other like trendy clothes, like Brandy Melville inspired, a lot of them. So if you're interested in that, check it down below. It's super cheap also because I make sure it's sustainable. Thrifting is a cheap option, and then I put in a little bit of money for like my labor and then sell it because I want people to have clothing that is accessible to them in the sizes that they want and for a price that they can afford. I know a lot of us are students and maybe have jobs, but clothing probably isn't your first priority. With my clothes, they're really cheap and affordable, so you can invest in them, and they are well made. So, and then I also am a photographer, so that comes with a ton of perks because obviously you need to have some advertising for your website. So I have an Instagram page, Mona Clothing Company, follow it. I conducted a photo shoot with 3 models, and we took so many pictures in multiple locations, and I love how they turned out. I'll put some on the screen, and it was really fun and a great way to kind of market my items. And after we did the photo shoot, I told each of them that they had to post a picture, well, at least one, and mention their code for 20% off in their caption. And that got me a few sales, which was really nice. And I'm working on men's clothing now, so I'm trying to expand my audience and hopefully make some more sales through that. And right now, obviously, my business is not a job right now. Like, it's not profitable to the point where I could just not have like a backup income. So if I had any advice for somebody who's looking to start their own business, especially clothing business, I would say just go for it. There's really nothing to lose. Start small. Don't be too ambitious. Obviously, it's good to be ambitious, but don't like spend too much money in case it doesn't work out. You don't want to like regret what you did. And yeah, so I would say start small, whether that's making your own t-shirts that has your company name on it, or, you know, like sewing some clothes to sell. Like, it's a great place to start, and it's super fun and rewarding once you make sales and people are like, oh my gosh, I love your clothes. Like, that is one of the best things to hear. So yeah, that was how I started my own clothing business at age 16. I'm 17 now, and I really want to go to the Fashion Institute of Technology, so this is a great thing to put on my application, resume, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below and I will answer them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.